So, hello, my name's Phoenix. I've been getting into empty buildings for 20 years and setting up community centres, environment projects. Had a lot of fun doing it and made a lot of friends and got a lot of different things together. Mainly doing it for community and environment. So let's start, because we've only got a certain amount of time. You're getting the speed version. You've got half an hour rather than a long hour, 40 minutes. Finding the space or getting in. So initially, for years we've been squatting buildings. We did try over the years asking councils and landlords, can we have a building? It is always worth, as well as squatting, to actually ask permission. If one part of your group can be working ahead to try and find empty buildings and ask them, write them letters, hello, we noticed it's empty, we're a community group, we're looking for it. Maybe 3 months, 6 months later you might get a proper answer and they might let you have it. But we usually get on with the direct action and just squatting it. So number 2 is getting in. And, I'm not going to do a full squat workshop here, because I do another workshop which is all about getting in, dealing with the owners, and dealing with the police and security and the alarms and whatever. But the very quick one on getting in to a building is you find the weak point. If you look all the way around a circle of an empty building and you look for the window or the door that is open or openable or easy to get in, once you've got in through that weak point, then you basically just have to secure the perimeter, which is all the doors, count 2, 3 doors, front and back door, make sure it's triple barricaded before going to sleep. A little passing on from years of squat knowledge is what I call the five T's, which is team, tools, timing, typing and tactics. And they basically, the team is you prepare a group of people who've said they're up for the mission, they're up for running a community project or whatever it is, going in on that night and taking it, and you want another wave of people who are going to come in the first day or 2 or 3 to come and help out with it. Second one was tools. Prepare and bring every tool and equipment you may need. Screwdrivers, hammers, saws, extra drills, gaffer tape, whatever it is. Double check locks, you've got everything. Timing, whether you're going to go in early in the morning or late at night or at the right time, the afternoon when there's busy traffic, less noise is heard or whatever. Typing, which is a real key one. Prepare a letter that can be shown to the first contact. What we call first contact is the security, the police, the owner when they first come. This has really helped us over loads and loads of years to actually shift the security guard or the policeman or the owner from angry, you've squatted the building mode into, oh, I'm going to read a letter mode. And somehow that shifts them from being Mr. Angry Owner or Mr. Police Guy who's like, well, I've got to do something, I'm looking for the criminal damage. In hierarchical organisations, they like to be able to go back to the boss and say, oh, I've got a bit of paper here, you deal with it, or someone else deal with it. So we just wrote a very basic letter that's very general. It doesn't say we've squatted it, it just says, hello, we're a community group, we've started to set up a community centre in this building, we would like to use it for a few things, don't mention too much, but community cafe space, art space, creative space, environment space, workshop space, bike repair space. Please get in touch with us. Here's our contact number. We're good people, we're caretakers, we look after buildings, we'd like to talk and negotiate with you, or something like that. Make it very general, and that means the security guy can take the letter back, the police guy can go, oh, looks like you're going to look after it, I don't have to be too heavy with you, and I'm reading something so I get out of smashing my way in mode. And an owner then, if you do get the owner on first contact, try and get their contact number. I'll come to negotiating a bit later, but try and get their contact number and details so that you can actually, negotiate and try and arrange a deal or something. Last T was tactics. How are we going to do it? Who's doing what? When, where, how, etc. Details of how you're going to work things out. Securing the perimeter, you count all the doors or gates and entrances and secure each point. Lock it down with padlocks, chains, screw doors shut, any way you can, just barricade stuff up. When the owners turn up, negotiate from a higher window, triple barricade entrance and exits before sleep. When you're going in, it's good to have a video or camera shield, which means somebody's just there with either a bigger camera or just a phone. Even if you haven't got a phone with, that works as a camera, tell them it does, because it makes them behave themselves a bit more. It's good to have a legal observer outside, someone in a yellow jacket, notepad saying, hello, yes, we're here, it's a community centre, no damage has been done, a solicitor's number, I do a longer, like I say, squatting workshop which covers all of this in more detail. Hello, mate.
Hello.
Welcome.
Sorry, mate.
That's all right. What's your name?
Alice.
Welcome, Alice. It's the Setting Up Community Centre, Social Centre workshop.
So I heard.
We used to call it community centres many years. I think everyone went to big protests in Europe, and they're all called social centres out there. So it came back in the last so many years. It's been social centres in fairly in favour of it. So after the getting in, I come to point 3, which is the organising structure. Again, I'm sharing 20 years of knowledge here and long things that we worked out from our young 20s. Create a project organising meeting. Whatever day of the week you want, but say Monday 6 o'clock is what we standard do in various different buildings. 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. During that process, you choose a facilitator, who is someone who basically keeps you on the subject of what you're talking about. And gives people, they stick one finger up if they want to talk, and gives them numbers. Remember that giving numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, because then number 3 and number 4 don't jump over and say stuff over the first 2. Everyone knows they're going to be heard. And a good facilitator keeps their eyes revolving round the circle. Get everyone to sit in a circle, you can see everyone. Facilitator is a revolving role. It's good to have different people try it each different week, so it shares the skills and it goes around. And a note taker. Notes can be typed and networked. It's really good to have them typed them or written up, and then it's emailed out, or it's stuck on your website, or it goes out further. So more people who couldn't come to that organising meeting can be aware of what's going on, get involved, help out. So at the beginning of your organising meet circle, do a name round. Each person says their name and their links to a group or experience or skills that they have. Also adding things for the agenda. So that's a really good way of, drawing out people, are they involved with a project, have they just come, are they a neighbour, an electrician, a plumber, a dance teacher, a costume maker. They can all help the project in the future. And adding items for the agenda. Sometimes we put a little notebook round the beginning of the circle, say items for the agenda, and then the facilitator has 5, 6, 7 things that you want to talk about. And hopefully, one other key point in meetings, really try and say at the beginning, let's make it last 1 hour, and then at the end of an hour you decide, do you want to extend by 10, 15, 20 minutes. What we found over the years is when you go over an hour and a half and into 2 hour plus meetings, that's when people get tired, that's when people argue, that's when people are bored and have enough and want to get out of there, and your meetings stop being interesting, fun, and get things done and get a bit laborious.
With the agenda, would that be like a smaller group setting that up, or would you establish that with the whole group at the beginning?
Well, what we like to do is as much as possible an inclusive and everyone putting in process. So what we've done over the years is basically in the 15, say you're starting your meeting at 7 o'clock, 6:45, you'll start getting some chairs together in a circle, and you'll pass a bit of paper around the people that are forming and say, anyone's got anything for the agenda, put it down. Maybe sometimes you've got a few things that have come up, people said next week we should talk about the cafe, we should talk about negotiating with the owners, or fixing the roof, or whatever it is. So you might have 2 or 3, 4 things bunged on towards the beginning, and then it passes around the circle for any input from anybody who wants something discussed.
If there's like other issues that come out during the meeting, which is sort of extra agenda points, you say like talk about that as well, or kind of leave it because it's not on the original agenda?
Well, it's good to try and be flexible in all things, but try and get that agenda put down at the beginning with a number of points. There will be other points possibly come up. A good facilitator is going to deal with them, juggle them, say, hold on a minute, maybe we should put number 4 up to being chatted about number 1 and 2 because the legal or whatever, or the roof leaking is the most priority, or we've got an event on Friday, let's talk about that now. So yeah, you can adjust as facilitator of those things, and you can take in new agenda points. One good thing to remember is at the end, put any other business, anybody's forgotten anything, any new stuff they want to raise up that wasn't an agenda, bung it in. But it's really good to remind people we're finishing in 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so. Let's keep our points brief. Remember this one. I'll go into the hand signals in a minute, but it gets people getting more precise and not waffling. So, explain direct democracy. This is like, it's been used in activist circles. The time actually came, consensus stuff originally came from the Quakers in the 1600s, but direct democracy, the Occupy movement's really pushed out from the activist community all around the world now. It's a really good thing to see. So just a quick explanation of direct democracy, hand signals. One hand up you know, I would like to speak, you know. Two hands up with 2 fingers say I've got direct point. So the facilitator with one hand to go, you know, number 1, number 2, number 3, 4 to speak. A direct point should only be used when you've got an absolute direct point related to the agenda point or the subject that's being discussed at the time. Somebody's saying we're talking about money, and somebody says I know about a grant we can get. Somebody's talking about the bike repair workshop, and someone says someone wants to donate us 10 bikes, whatever. It's absolutely related to what you're talking about, rather than some people try to use it to jump the queue. There's 4 people waiting to speak, and they go, oh, me, I've got 2 fingers. So really keep an eye on that, and direct point with 2 fingers about the relevant thing. Jazz hands to agree for consensus, sit around the circle, and you know, everyone's doing that. You know, it's a very popular thing that everyone wants to go with. Try and, you know, ask people, there's a whole sort of consensus flow chart I'll talk about in a minute, but T-shaped hand for technical point, this basically means there's a technical important point that you have to raise to cut across everything else from outside the meeting, like, you know, the police are here, or there's something going on in the other room you need to be aware of, or it's an important thing that I need to tell the whole meeting about now. That's a technical point, generally from sometimes outside the meeting. Rolling hands is to move on. We've been on that subject for like 10-15 minutes, or one person's been speaking for 7 minutes, you know, keep moving on. Or we understand that point, let's move on. Signal for a block. Now, I think Occupy was using this for a block, but also this one, and I think this one's better. When you ask for consensus, if you block it, you absolutely don't want it to happen, and you'll try and stop it, or there's something called a stand aside, which means I won't block this proposal, but I'll stand aside, I won't support it or make it happen. There's a lot more to be said on consensus stuff. There's a really good chart somewhere you can research and download, a consensus flow chart, where, you know, they put a proposal and they go through, you know, any concerns, any input, talk about it for 20 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, and then any adjustments, and then you say, does the group have consensus? If everyone goes like that, you have consensus. If not, people have to discuss it again. If someone wants to block it, that's quite a strong thing to do, and they should also, you might get some people in your meetings just being a pain in the butt and blocking everything, or police infiltrator who just wants to mess up the process, blocking everything. One thing was introduced, Occupy was saying, if you want to block it, you should come to the next meeting or that meeting and say something better that you think we should be doing, or something different. Otherwise you're just blocking an hour and a half of 40 minutes of really good process that's going on. There's a lot more you can research on this internet. Occupy Wiki, I think, has got a lot of stuff. The weekly meeting is the decision-making body for the project or group. It is important to have a clear decision-making process. That was from years ago. My mate Ed used to say, but where's the decision-making process? You know, we're a big amorphous collective and different people talking about different things at different times. It's really good to let people know, if you want to get decisions out of the group, that's our decision-making process. Monday night, Tuesday night, 6 or 7 o'clock, when we get together. That's the whole group together, and we can decide on things. Hello, mate. Hi. What's your name?
Daniel.
Daniel, welcome. Workshop on setting up community centre social centres, the speed version. Remember, action points are very important. Who is going to take action on an idea and make it happen? Then report back to the group, or say, we need more help, or the mission has changed. This is really, really important. Your meetings will go around for days and weeks, and people say, yeah, we've got to fix that roof. Next week, yeah, we've got to fix that roof. Yeah, and until somebody actually says, action point, who's going to fix the roof? Who is going to run the CAF? Who is going to do this? And then you say, right, John and Sarah volunteered, they're doing it. And maybe by the next week they say, yeah, we've got this sorted, we've got this event sorted, the roof sorted, whatever. Or they come back to the next meeting and say, we need more help, we need more materials, we need more people, whatever it is. But really try and learn that one, who's doing it, and an action point, because it really will speed up your whole community centre process, achieving things better. You know, one that we don't always remember to focus on, and it comes up 3 weeks later, and it's like, oh God, did we talk about that 3 weeks? Wasn't somebody going to do it? Oh no, no one actually specifically said they're going to do it. It's an action point. One other good community centre tool is a talking circle. It's an old Native American tradition, very useful community tool. To create a circle, pass a stick around the circle of people. Each person gets a chance to talk, but mostly importantly, it's a listening circle where everyone else listens to each person. This helps to make everyone feel part of it, and everyone has an equal voice and is equal to each other, and provides a diversity of opinions.